Okay, thank you for that. Thank you so much for that. Okay, got my lav on now. I was charging it, forgot all about it. So thank you very much for that. Um, oh, okay. I just realized you. Is that you? Yeah, that's you. Okay, that's my IT guy. Hello, IT guy. Hope you're having a good day. The kids are home. I think they're glad to be home. So, can you hear me now? The lav's on now. Hopefully, you can hear me. Thank you for that. Oh. Thank you so much for that. Okay, let me get that rid of that. My lav on now. Ah, hang on. I gotta get this off of here. Stop. Oh. Okay. Okay. I just realized you. Is that you? Okay. There we go. Oh, I miss my IT guy. Can you tell? Oh, goodness gracious me. Hello, friends. Uh, I almost said happy Monday. That tells you how things are going for me. Um, the Hubs and I were out of town this weekend. Not this weekend. Saturday was a phenomenal day. We got to celebrate my grandson's 3rd birthday. We had a great time. He's already called me and asked me to make him another Rice Krispie treat. I don't do cakes because can't eat cakes, but I can do a Rice Krispie treat with the with Kroger brand Rice Krispies. And what I do, and I've done this with my kids when I even could eat gluten, I use the actual Rice Krispies. Um, I take the Rice Krispies and I fashion them into whatever year, how old they are. I fashion them into that number. So my grandson was 3, so he got a number 3 uh, Rice Krispie treat. So he called me the next day and asked me to make him another one. So we'll be seeing them the end of this month. So today we are making French onion meatloaf. And I have a few little things that I do to make it just a little different. One, to ramp up the fiber, I add in lentils to my meatloaf. And this time around, because we're making it French onion, I have some caramelized onions. So this is, I went ahead and did this because I didn't think you guys would want to sit there and watch me cook onions for anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes. So these are some onions I caramelized, and one of my favorite hacks for caramelizing onions is to put them in your crock pot. And you can put them on low, on high, however you want to do it. It's about, I would say, 4 hours on high and 6 to 8 easily on low. And it is a great way to not have to stand there and babysit them. And then if at the end you want them that rich, deep color, I happen to have something I can use as a crock pot, and it goes on the stove. So I use that. But if not, you can take it out at that point and just get that last little bit of dark brown color on it. So to a pound of ground beef, I've added a can of lentils. I've got some Worcestershire sauce. I've got my onions there. So we're going to add that in. If you need measurements, anywhere from a teaspoon to a tablespoon, however you want to. Because it's French onion, I wouldn't normally put this in, but because we're doing the French onion flavors, I'm going to add a little thyme. You could use fresh. I didn't get outside, and it's awfully hot to snip it. I didn't snip it this morning. So even though I have regular onion, I'm going to add a little bit of onion powder to add to it. Mr. 513 and I do not mind a lot of onion flavor. I think IT guy will be quite happy that he's not home for this particular meal. He did say he noticed we were having a lot of meals he wouldn't appreciate. Look, if you want to dice up some garlic, whatever, I'm going to use garlic powder today. I'm going to pretty much use the easy button pretty much all day today. After spending the day with our grandkids on Saturday, we got up on Sunday and drove about 5 hours. And this morning, or Monday morning, I had an uncle who, 87 years old, lived a great life, but he is my last uncle. I have one aunt left, but his funeral was on Monday. So, and my cousins lost both their parents this year within 6 months of each other. So I wasn't able to make it to my aunt's funeral, but so it was important to me to get to this one. All right, I am going to pull this over here so I don't do it with a bunch of dirty hands. And we're going to mix. And yes, if you don't have to be gluten-free and you want to put breadcrumbs in, you go right ahead. I do have some gluten-free ones, but I've just found that I use them when absolutely necessary, and on meatloaf, it tends not to be necessary. So that's all for you. So, you know what? I'm okay. With my uncle, I'm okay. The hardest part was watching my cousins because, that's a lot of loss in 6 months. And then I have never been to a funeral that was a full military honor. So that was something new for me and for my husband, actually. So we'd never been to a full military honors funeral. The people that we know that could have had them their families chose not to. But hearing taps it's quite poignant when you're actually at a military funeral, and then watching them fold the flag and hand it to my cousin who did his absolute best to keep it together, and he did, but there's a part of me that's like, it's okay. It's okay to cry, right? So anyway, but today we're making meatloaf. There's so much going on. There's so many people that are struggling with so much. Be kind. Please be kind. I try, and there's people doing some really crazy things. Joan, I read your article this morning. I was just, makes me sad. So, anyway, but we still have to eat, right? We still have to take care of each other. We still have to help each other out whenever we can. Little tip for meatloaf. If you make it like the big loaf, like at least my mom always did, she made a big round thing. If you do that, it takes so much longer to cook. So I do two things. Number one, I make it flatter and I separate it. Because if you make it flat and you make it smaller, it cooks a lot faster. And if you like the crust on it, you actually get more crust. So just saying, if that's something that you like. So we're going to shape these up. So yeah, Taps got to me, and they played How Great Thou Art. And that was played at my grandparents' funeral. It was played at my father's funeral. And that was played at my father's oldest brother's funeral. I'm like, y'all are killing me, man. I was good until that point. So anyway, so there we go. Wanted to get that done first, of course. And we're going to pop this in the oven. And I'm going to go ahead and air fry this because I really do want it to get done. And because mine goes low, I would normally do it at 375, but my oven You know what? I'll do air roast instead. I'm going to do that at 400. Let's go for about 25 minutes and let's see what happens. All right, we're going to start with that. So there's that. And this is one of those meals that my husband could eat every week, practically. That and chili. And I'm like, look, we can't have that all the time. It's not healthy. He's like, I don't care. I'm like, yeah, I know you don't care. But next, we're going to work on some green beans, and we're going to be done way before that's probably done, to be honest with you. But we'll talk about some other things. To that, I am going to add, this is some roasted garlic butter that my wonderful neighbor picked up for me at the farmer's market, and I was last season, and the guy doesn't come anymore. So I've been kind of hoarding this in the freezer. It's been frozen since last season. So I am excited to put some of that in there. It is so good. You can see all the lovely roasted garlic in there. So I'm going to put a little bit of that in there. And then I'm going to put I need some sliced garlic and sliced shallots. Fun fact, I can deal with almost any kind of onion that isn't red. Red onions, red, purple, this kind of hue, they make my eyes water something fierce. So we're going to do the garlic first. And it just says to slice it up. So I am going to take the little ends off so nobody gets any crunchy garlic ends. See, the crusty part, it's so good. Yeah, How Great Thou Art is and it was interesting because it was a recording, and it's a very musical family, and so everyone was singing anyway. So it was kind of cool, actually. So I'm gonna slice this garlic up fairly thin. Again, we don't mind a little garlic in this house. As my husband says, no vampires around here. So, ooh, that just reminded me of a dream I had last night. Not vampires, but sort of. There are people out there that I think are akin to vampires, if you know what I mean. Kind of suck the life out of you. I had a dream about that last night. So, knock the ends off of these guys. And I don't know how you guys slice your shallots, but especially if I'm going to dice them, I leave the end on. And this is a fairly old shallot, so I'm not sure if it's going to be any good. Hoping it is, but I've had it for a while. I was going to use it for something else and ended up not doing that. So, but I just sliced down through it a few times, and then while I do this second one, I'm going to turn this on. Turn on about medium heat. Oh, goodness me. So I'm glad it was meatloaf today because I could have done the meatballs, but actually Mr. 513 opted for meatloaf. He's like, could we have meatloaf instead? Yeah, sure, fine. So I hadn't put anything up on the web yet, so that was good. And meatloaf's an easy. Meatloaf can take a while. Like I said, it takes a lot less if you make two small ones like that instead of one big one. But meatloaf is an easy meal because we call them cheater mashed potatoes. And I don't care that they're cheater mashed potatoes. Let me turn this up just a tad. Forgot to get down my tools. Hang on, I'm going to go grab my tools here. Ooh. All right. Got those put together. And let's see, what are we going to use? Green beans. You know what? I'm going to need these. I have 2 things of tools. Some may say it's too many. They would be wrong. Just saying. So, is it Rosalinda? If it is, we'll call you that. So, welcome in. We're making some French onion meatloaf today. We've got that in the oven. It's cooking away. And right now I am melting some butter along to cook with some olive oil. Some wonderfully roasted garlic butter. I'm going to add a little more butter to that. I think I'm going to need it. I have more green beans. So then it calls for. So I think I'm just going to add a little more than that. They're supposed to coat them. That's why I want to make sure I've got plenty to coat them. And I made extra on purpose because I love to snack on green beans. It's one of my favorite vegetables. So the kids used to hate it. I always said I had the only kids in the world who, when that you would say what's for dinner, and you would say green beans, they'd go, "Aw." They would rather have broccoli or asparagus. Green beans just never thrilled them. I like them pretty much any way you can make them. So, let's see if this is ready to saute. Not looking like it, although I caught it kind of on the edge there. We're close. Starting to bubble. There we go. So start that by stirring those up. I'm just going to let them soften up a little bit. So now you could use haricot vert if you want. Mine they aren't labeled haricot vert, but they're haricot vert. Speak, woman. But they are very thin, and the recipe calls for, if you're using haricot vert, to blanch them. I'm not going to do that because they were frozen, so they've already got that just tiny little bit of yes, garlic is good for your heart, very much so. The butter, not so much, but balance, right? Balance, Ruby. We know this, right? Ruby's are definitely look on the bright side of things sometimes, so I love it. But anyway, I drove through your state yesterday, Ruby. I was in Springfield, Illinois for the funeral, and so I drove across to Indianapolis and then down 74 home. You got some serious construction going on in your state, Ruby. Holy moly. So, all right. We are going to go in with the beans. So, hi. Is it Evelyn or Evelyn? I'm going to say Evelyn. Correct me if I'm wrong. So we're going in with our beans here. So yeah, we had a lot of construction, but still made it home at a decent hour, so that was good. But I think I've mentioned before, when my husband and I were in our late 40s, I think it was, we got tickets to, our son loves college football, and we got tickets to the Orange Bowl. It was like one of the first years they started doing the bowl games, and they had a national championship. Well, when they first started it, like one year it was where the Sugar Bowl was, one year it was where the Orange Bowl was. And so you had to buy both sets of tickets. And then a lot of people would buy them and then sell off the other tickets. And so we got tickets to the Orange Bowl for $25 a piece. And that was our son's. We just got them on a whim. It was actually after Christmas that we got them. So we left Cincinnati, Ohio, on New Year's Eve morning. We drove to Orlando, Florida, which is where my brother lives. We got there at 11:30 p.m., stayed up for midnight, went to bed, got up, drove from Orlando to Miami, which is another 8 hours, went to the beach, went to the game, and then drove home after the game. We did not stay anywhere overnight because we're nuts. Anyway, this weekend we went 5 hours on Sunday and 5 hours back on Monday after the funeral, and we were wiped. We were so tired, and we're both really tired today. So it's like, just don't have the resilience, you know? Oh, good, Evelyn, I'm glad. So, but I took yesterday off, as you all know, and my husband took yesterday off, and we're probably going to be heading for some other stuff here in the near future. I'll let you know more as I can. Not my story to tell, so at this point, and I've been asked not to share too much, but so some people we know having some life difficulties that we might end up being a part of. So I've turned this down to its lowest setting, so hopefully that'll do its thing. And now I've told you guys, there you go. If for whatever reason you need to do a shortcut for anything that I do it. One of the shortcuts I take all the time. I never used to because there wasn't a good alternative. I used to make homemade mashed potatoes all the time. Ugh, there's a fly in my house. I hate those little guys. Ugh. I used to always make homemade mashed potatoes because there was not a good alternative. I can't stand the stuff. I can't stand the box potatoes. But I get these from Costco, and there's 2 of them in a pack. They actually are good. They taste like mashed potatoes. They're a little salty. If you're somebody who doesn't like salty stuff, I will tell you that. And I shouldn't say that. They're a little salty for somebody who doesn't cook with salt. You'll notice I didn't add salt to anything. My husband's type 1 diabetic. We kind of this is salted butter. We let that be the salt, that kind of thing. So it's one of those, you got to put a hole in it, and it goes, I've had that removed as well. It does make seeing a little difficult. I had an early, what they call it. I was young to have cataracts, is what they said, which was a nice thing to hear, but I still had them. So I'm going to pop this in my microwave for 3 minutes. But yeah, it's 3 minutes in the microwave, stir, and then 2 more minutes in the microwave. So, what's not to love about that, right? While we're waiting, I'll do a little stir on the green beans. One of the rough things about eating before my husband is that we don't necessarily eat dinner together all that often. He eats when he gets home, and I eat as soon as I turn off the camera after I've tasted everything. Um, but one of the things that works for us instead of against us is the fact that I like my veggies a little crisper than he does. So I can eat my kind of crisp veggies, and then they're a little more cooked by the time he gets here. So that works out for both of us. But anyway, so we will plate up. And I'm going to do something, again, because IT guy's not here. I can do a lot of things that I wouldn't normally do when he was here. And don't get me wrong, he wouldn't complain. He would just make something else. But it's silly if we're all together for me to not cook for all of us to be happy. So, but that wasn't all the onions that I made. So when this is done, I'm going to put a layer of, at least on one of them, I'm going to put a layer of caramelized onions, and then we'll put the cheese on top of that. So okay, I've used Simply Potatoes for other things, but I have not used them for mashed potatoes. I'll keep that in mind. So that's good to know. And if somebody, I mean, we always get the family size because my husband loves mashed potatoes. But yeah, especially if you're, single or just two of you and you need something smaller than two of what I just showed you, then that's a good idea. Also, I am so excited about this. I was going to do this myself because right now Gruyere cheese is stupidly expensive where I live. It's like it was $16 for 8 ounces. And I'm like, that's crazy. And I'm like, oh. So you can do cheese combos to make it similar to that. And I was actually going to do like a mozzarella and Swiss combo. And I found this at the store. They call it an Alpine blend, and it's actually Swiss and Gruyere. And it was a lot more affordable than just buying the Gruyere by itself. So that was pretty exciting that we got that. So I'm going to top one with the onions and cheese, and I'm going to top one with just onions because I think my husband's going to like the just onions better. And then we'll put that in for a few more minutes at a higher temperature. So Goddess Lish, I am in the United States. I am in the state of Ohio in a city called Cincinnati. So not knowing where you're from, that's the best way for me to put it. I'm in the Midwest of the United States. I always say we're the beginning of the middle, which is kind of odd for some people. So, hey, Christy, hello. So, Christy's one of our regulars. So, but Evelyn, about your cataract, let me ease your mind because a lot of people are very scared of that surgery. I was stunned at how easy that was. It was easier than getting a tooth filled. I will be honest with you. So, and I actually had new lenses put in. I've worn glasses all my life, and I had the opportunity because my cataract was so significant. They were going to have to replace my lens anyway, and I got the opportunity to have my eyes have the lenses fit a prescription. So I no longer wear glasses because of having a cataract. So there you go, and literally no pain whatsoever. It was amazing how it was just extraordinary, that surgery. I was just stunned. So anyway, welcome to my northern neighbor because you're right above us. So, you're just north of where I am. So that's, it's so funny because I've been told I sound Southern and I'm like, no, nobody in the South. I'm a Yankee. Sorry, guys. I mean, granted, the state just south of us was not on the side of the North during the Civil War in the United States, but I'm still a Northerner. I'm going to grab those mashed potatoes out. I'm going to need to stir them. Hot, hot, hot. Put those on that plate. So, anyway. So a little bit of a stir on these guys. And the thing is, like, I make, if I have to make a lot of mashed potatoes, I will make them in my Instant Pot. That also goes really, really well if you're making them from scratch. But even like for my family, for the holidays, we just grab 2 of these and we put them in a crock pot, and it's plenty for all of us. So, because we have so many other things. And, you know, really, for the holidays, it's kind of all about the desserts, right? At least around here it is. And we will be making some holiday desserts that are gluten-free, just for funsies. And that one goes back in for 2 minutes. Hey, we're gonna time this pretty well, actually. I'm pretty excited about that. Give our green beans another little stir. So tomorrow, I am making Marry Me chicken. I've never made it before. So this incredible viral recipe everybody talks about, I've never made. And they make all of it. It's like Marry Me pasta, Marry Me chickpeas, Marry Me meatloaf. I've seen Marry Me, what am I missing? Pork chops. I've seen it with pork. So you can get Marry Me just about anything. And I've never made it before. So we're going to give it a shot. See how we like it. I'm going to do it the traditional way the first time as far as the chicken part. But I'm not serving it over pasta, as you can well imagine. I did a really great job of eating the way I should, but I still think I might have gotten something that just didn't agree with me. And that could be because we went to a Mexican restaurant on Friday, or on Sunday. My days were all discombobulated this week, so forgive me. But supposedly, Christy, it's so good. Like, you serve it to someone, they're going to ask you to marry them. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, so I ate on plan, but sometimes certain restaurants, like I ate corn chips, but if those corn chips were fried in a fryer with a lot of wheat products, it can tear up my stomach, and my stomach's been pretty torn up since Monday morning. So I thought it was just emotional stuff, but it's still bothering me today. And when I get glutened, it tends to take me 2 to 3 days for it to settle out. And because I didn't feel bad right away, you're outside the window to come on outside. Sorry, one of my dogs might be getting sick, so out she goes. Oh, now they're just gonna bark. I'm not good with that, so nope. So they go outside. Yeah, it's the sauce is supposed to be the big thing. It's got some sun. I've printed it out and I've looked at it. It's got sun-dried tomatoes in it. That's the only thing I remember offhand. And it is a cream type sauce. So we'll see tomorrow. And then Thursday we're doing an experiment. I have seen this everywhere, and it is because I can't have regular pizza crust. There is a recipe for chicken crust pizza, and I'm going to give that a try. We're going to see how that goes. I'm still researching exactly which recipe I'm going to use, so we'll see. But it's supposed to be really good, but then again, you know, you see these videos and you're like, really, is it that good? So we're gonna find out um, if it's that good. So we'll see. But let's see how much time do we have left? A little over a minute and a half, so we should be in good shape. And then I'm gonna grab my other caramelized onions. So this is the pan I use. That I can use it as a crock pot, or I can use it on the stove. I can use it in the oven. I love that about it. And then I've just got some more of those wonderful caramelized onions that I'm going to put on top of these meatloaves. Meatloaves, I guess you would call them. So, and then I'm going to add the cheese to the one. I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure my husband's going to like that. So, no, I wish. My green beans, I only got like 1 or 2 servings off the initial set of green beans. So I have replanted. I've got 4 more bushes that are just starting to come up. So I should have those either end of this month or beginning of next month. I should have some more green beans. So I'm excited about that. You know, there's 2 different kinds of sun-dried tomatoes. And so I'm going to have to look at the, oh, and hi, Rusty. Sorry, I just saw that you came in. Um, and if they don't tell you, like, should you have the ones in oil or should you have the ones that are dry? I don't know. So I'm going to have to kind of figure that out. So, all right. They're looking good. And if you've got a pan where it can drip down below, highly recommend. Also, one of these guys, such an easy cleanup when you're done. Okay, I'm going to sit that right there. We're not going to, I don't want it uneven like that. I don't want it to drip out. I am going to actually put it back up there, I think. Just stay there. Behave yourself, okay? All right, I'm going to get some, the beeping you hear is the mashed potatoes, by the way. I'm going to cover that. Like I said, we like an onion around here, so I like a cooked onion, let's put it that way. My husband would eat onions on everything, but I only like them cooked. They're too pungent for me otherwise. So I think I'll have a little bit left, but I don't know. And if I have a little left, what I will probably do is I will toss some of these caramelized onions. I do have a little left. So I'm going to take, trying not to waste, and take a little bit of those caramelized onions. I'm going to toss it in with my green beans. So in there. This can come into the sink. Start soaking up the hot water. And now I have to rinse the spoon off because it got soap on it. Anywho, so we've got our onions on. We're going to get our Alpine blend going here. My scissors. So, all right. Did anybody? Oh, this weekend I had a lot of chips, and I think that's why my stomach probably is even worse because for dinner basically I just had the a beef and cheese dip, which I love. I'm afraid to get burned. So I'm just being really, really careful. And unfortunately, that means some of it falls to the side. So get as much as I can off of there without burning myself. So I had that beef and cheese with tortilla chips. And then I got a bowl of soup and forgot to say no cilantro. So I had to pick all the cilantro off of it. Because, yeah, I have the soap gene for anybody who's new. And cilantro and I don't need to have, Dove soap on my food. Anyway. All right. So we're going to. I could broil it. Yeah, I guess I will. Broil it. We'll go on high for about, let's try 4 minutes. Okay. And while that is doing its thing, thanks. I thought it was kind of an interesting play on meatloaf because, meatloaf is one of those things. I have a standard recipe for it, and I usually make two. I make one with cheese and I make one with ketchup on it. My husband also likes it with a gravy, so I've made it with gravy before. But for me, if I'm going to eat meatloaf more than once a month, I need a little variety. So I'm going to grab out the mashed potatoes. Here's a controversial one. How long do you rest meat? We have had this discussion for years because it annoys my husband that all the chefs on TV rest their meat. He's like, as long as they rest their meat, it would not be hot anymore. And he's like, I don't want to eat cold food. So we have had an ongoing debate about how much to rest something. And so, like with steak, I mean, they usually say rest it for 15 minutes. I've gotten him to at least let me do it for, depending on the size of the steak, anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes. Now with a roast, because you've got the juice and stuff like that I can pull out, let everything else stay warm, let the roast rest, and then put it back in the juice. But and we rest white meat chicken if we've roasted it as well. But again, like turkey and stuff like that, we go round and round about it. And I said, this is why your white meat is dry, because you don't rest it long enough. Because they don't like white meat in his family. I'm like, you don't like it because you don't rest it. So anyway, but so I'm gonna put a little bit of mashed potatoes on there, and then I'm gonna toss up these beans. I'll set that aside because I'll put that back on there so they stay warm, and I will turn them off so they don't get overcooked. Toss some of these beans so this gets into the whole dish. So to rest or not to rest, and how long to rest, do you think? Because I know some of you cook a lot. Okay. All right, now I'm going to grab out some of those green beans. Love, love, love. Yes, a lot of those green beans because I like them. Turn this so you guys can see the plate, I hope. Put this off to the side. Then I'm going to put the lid back on. Yeah, I would normally rest the meatloaf. So I will only eat the one piece and then I'll let it rest. Alrighty. Yeah. Some days it turns out you're just happy about it. Now I just got to be really careful. put that right here. I'm just going to take that end piece off. That's all bubbly and gorgeous. Come on. All right, it's not pretty anymore because I decided to fall over. Sorry about that. Look at that gorgeous cheese. I do love cheese. Oh, y'all remember the cucumber sandwiches? I lived on that dip with some cucumbers this weekend. That was a couple of meals for me, actually. It was so good. The hubs likes it too, so that was our snack in the car. So just a little bit of salt on the beans, and we're gonna taste. See, that's what I keep trying to tell him. So what we started doing, he used to carve the turkey. We used to go to his sister-in-law's, and he would carve the turkey before we left. And I said, just carve it when you get there. Let it sit, let it just rest. And it was amazing how much less tough the bird was. So anyway, I'm going to start with the green beans, a little bit of onion with my green beans. This is, again, a new way for me to make them. I usually just saute them and put some butter on them. That's nice. Very nice. Light. Still pretty crunchy. Not crunchy, but they've got, I think my husband will want them to be a little more done, which is fine. So, and then honestly, one of the best things I've learned, we're all pretty much, if we have a normal US diet, we're really low in fiber, and tossing something like lentils in a meatloaf is a great way to boost the fiber without changing the taste at all. Mm. Yeah, it would have benefited from resting a little bit longer, but um, when I get the onion with the meatloaf, so good. Um, and yeah, it would benefit from a gravy, to be honest. My husband will always say it would benefit from gravy, but um, I think if I did it again, I might actually make more onions and then make an onion gravy to go with it, as opposed to just putting the caramelized onions on it. I think that would be really, really good. Um, and onion gravy is really easy to make gluten free. So, and I know what these guys taste like, and with the meatloaf, they'll be delicious. So, I used to be someone who never ate mixed my foods, and for some reason, the older I get, the easier it is for me to do. I don't know why, but it depends for me, Joan. With a steak, I leave the steak in the pan and just put a lid on the pan. Um, but yeah, when we pull a bird out of the oven or something, um, or like I pull a roast out and leave everything in, yeah, I tent it with the foil as well. So there you have it. Uh, Pretty much on time. So, but I like it with the mashed potatoes, to be honest. It would benefit from a gravy. If I did it again, or if I do it again, I will take those extra onions and rather than put them on top, I'll make an onion gravy out of it. And I think that would be outstanding. I also think it would be great as meatballs because then you can just like let them cook in that sauce or gravy. So I think that's the direction I would go. I mean, it literally is a meatball recipe I made into meatloaf. Sorry about the fly. It will be dead before the end of the night. I guarantee it. I always try to get out from my bathroom because I have a glass block window and they get trapped in there and then I can take care of them. So anyway, yes, they do. And so IT guy, you're lucky. It's a very onion heavy meal, so you're not here to have to eat it. Again, tomorrow we're going to do Marry Me Chicken. We're going to see if it's as good as everybody says it is. So I will see you then. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my meal here. And then I'm going to start cleaning up. So my husband doesn't have to because we're both so tired from the whole weekend. So anyway, I wish you guys a wonderful evening. Remember to eat well, be well, and I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Have a great day. Bye-bye.